Hello! Congratulations. You solved the murder, sort of. Welcome
Kind
back to
of.
D&D. Yeah, last time you guys sort of solved a murder.
It was more of a. We found out the murder was a different murder and decided this different murder wasn't really worth our time.
Indeed. After doing a hefty amount of investigating and talking to seemingly everyone involved, Molly just eventually turned up, fortunately. Having spent the night drinking in a dive bar, she eventually learned, after learning of her husband's affair, and eventually learning the fate supposedly of her husband that morning. With her help, however, you were able to discover that the body of Bali wasn't, in fact, not Bali. Uriel had escaped the guards' efforts to find him, and the real Bali was nowhere to be found. Who was responsible for the unknown stranger's death? Did Bali's mysterious past catch up to him? Or did someone looking for Bali target the wrong person, causing Bali to run in fear? Frustrated by the lack of help from the authorities, Arwen attempted to forcefully extract more information from the local constable, Jork.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, she chose to do it in the mortuary of the guard building. However, sensing an opportunity for personal gain, Jork decided to extract a large bribe from the party instead of arresting them, eventually managing to extract a sum of somewhat 200 gold out of you. The party also spent some time talking to Caleb, who was still keen to hear of their recent adventure with the dragon for him to turn into a song for the upcoming Festival of Crafts.
Woohoo! Festival.
And so we pick things up in the evening of that same day. The city has been busy setting up everywhere you've walked. There have been people toing and froing, carrying lumber and various things, setting up multiple different stages and what have you, and stalls throughout an area of the city. Large, coloured banners and bunting and things like that are being strung across the streets, generally giving the whole thing an air of bright vibrance and excitement. It is the evening now, after you guys have sort of solved the murder. What would you like to be doing?
Taking a long rest because I am literally out of spells. I'm 99% sure I'm out of everything. Channel Divinity, spells, fucking patience, all of it. Yeah, I have one first level spell left. That is Stix's usefulness right there. I'm as good as a first level warlock.
That's not true.
Oh wait, no, that's not true. Sucks. So I can actually add 1d8 smite damage onto everything.
Indeed.
Sucks.
Would you choose to return to the Half Pint Inn, or would you find yourselves alternate accommodation?
How many of them did we insult?
Most
I actually think most of them.
Maybe we shouldn't go back there.
I heartedly agree. I think maybe we should find somewhere a little different to go to sleep. Just somewhere nearby, but somewhere different, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. You find an alternate tavern. Where you are in the district or in the city, it's quite busy now. A lot of people have arrived in the city recently, so things are quite crowded, but you do find a tavern that is able to squeeze you in, a place called the Bard's Tail Tavern. And indeed, the name seems apt, as there are multiple, you can clearly see multiple musicians gathered around, some sort of, with instruments laid by, some packed away in cases and things like that. There is a reasonably...
Pipers! Fuck!
There's a reasonably large stage in in the center of the room, against one wall, that there is currently what looks to be a gnomish bard singing a tale from. As you walk in, the atmosphere is generally quite sort of not somber, but it's that quietness of like in a theatre almost, where people are paying attention to the performance that is happening on the stage. And as you listen, you hear this quite heartfelt song about green hills and green trees and green burrows of the Gnomish way.
Aww. Oh.
But the performance comes to an end. There is a round of applause, and a rather, slightly older, probably mid-60s, you reckon, large handlebar moustache, was probably once blonde but is now more grey than blonde, and a large beer belly on this human barkeep stand up. He's like, "Oh, it was another beautiful performance. I'm sure everyone is excited for tomorrow. We'll have a short break now for you to all enjoy your drinks and your meals, and we'll have some more performances later on this evening."
I would think when Clary claps, her hedgehog claps, and then she summons her mage hand to clap as well. Clapping.
The old triple clap.
That sounds weird.
He does now said it. But hey.
Triple clap.
Super STD.
Moving
swiftly on. Yeah. You guys are able to squeeze in and find 2 rooms for the night. Prices are a little bit more expensive now. They are in high demand for the festival, so it would be about 4 gold each.
Can I try and use persuasion to try and get those prices down a little bit, saying that we are here. We're here in work. We've been working with the guards for the past couple of days. We've been working with the guards in many different places. We slew a dragon the other day. We are with the council woman Genevieve. Just sort of like bringing out a lot of those, putting those big names sort of out there and trying to persuade the barkeep into lowering the price a little bit for us.
Yeah, you can certainly try. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, +8.
Ooh.
Oh, 18.
It's not bad. Yeah, it goes quite well. The barkeep is quite impressed and says, "Ooh, it's, you must have a song or two about you. Which one of you is performing tomorrow?" He sort of looks about the group, looking for an instrument.
Any of you guys have instruments?
Oh, we're all playing. All together. We're a band.
We're a band.
An a cappella group, I presume, then. Well,
If she,
I shall keep. Do you have a name? I shall keep an ear out.
um, uh,
Yeah.
we're working on it. It's
Well, you
it's
may want to come up with something soon. These names can make or create. Also, they're all certain gestures to the wider bar population of the bar. They're also keen on telling me. Um, well, for now, I'll just take your regular names, and as he does so, he turns around and reaches under the bar and pulls out 2 keys and gives them to you.
sweet. Thanking you. How much? How much is the damage?
For fine folks such as you, I'm not like to see any more customers come in. I'll knock it down to 3 gold a room.
Oh, 3 gold a room. I'll pay that myself, peeps. Don't you worry. That's well, you gave us 2 keys. There's 2 rooms, so
6 gold.
Stix is bankrupt.
no, mate. I got more than 2,000 gold in my
Oh,
pocket.
absolutely loaded.
Man, he's swimming in it for a very druidic guy who never used to like gold. He's like, as you.
You're right there.
Yeah, I'm just,
Smashing up the desk.
Yeah. Don't mind me.
Had to get some of that anger out.
You guys head upstairs, find your rooms, sort yourselves out. As you head upstairs and find your rooms and open the doors, Neo just turns to one and says, "What are we doing about the cart?"
Where is it?
What do you mean? Oh, it's outside, isn't it? Is there like valet parking? I'm assuming there's somewhere we can leave it to be like safe.
Mm-hmm.
Can we ask? I'll ask the sort of bartender, like, "Hi, we have a cart. Is there anywhere we can sort of like park that where it'll be safe around here? What do we do with it?"
Currently, it is at the half pint still.
Oh shit! Yeah. I'll ask him anyway, as if we've as if we're bringing a cart here.
Mm-hmm. He's like, no, we don't really have that. I mean, it's just is it a large wagon? We could maybe.
It's not very large. It's got like a little roof on it, but it's not particularly large.
Most people just sort of leave horses at the stables. But if you pull it up first, we could maybe store it for a night or two. How long are you planning on staying?
A night or 2.
Yeah, a night or 2, like 2 nights, maybe a night.
Well, if you're willing to pay up front now, then I'll charge you a gold a night for the storage of the wagon.
Boom! There we are. Thank you very, very much. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, folks. Is I didn't dispel Elvis when we got into the city, because we came into the city on the car. So technically, has Elvis been on the car? With the car?
Was he in the stable with that weird boy who was scared of him?
You disabled him? You dispelled him to freak out the boy looking after him.
Oh, yes, I did. You are correct. Okay, well then, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make really good use of... No, fine, Steve is 2nd level. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to suggest to Neo, that was it. I kept wanting to call him Hugo. Neo, that...
You could ask Hugo if you want.
that he summon Lloyd Cedric and keep Lloyd Cedric with the cart, so it's got a little bit of protection. And then when we bring the cart in, I will suggest that maybe we try and Arwen, do you have any sort of anything that could keep something affixed to a certain position?
Doubt
Like
it.
a sort of
Oh.
vine to grasp something,
Oh.
some such.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
We could put that over like the axle, the wheels on the bottom, and then it sort of keeps it in place. No one can steal our car, and we've got a horse kind of protecting the car, ish, like a bike lock.
Yes.
Sort of.
I have plant growth, so I guess if I just put it through the wheels, can I do that?
I mean, plant growth is the one that covers an absolutely massive area.
Yeah, but like it doesn't have to, right?
I don't know about
It,
that.
it can cover up to, what was it, 200 feet radius?
All normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on a point become
Yeah.
thick and overgrown.
Oh, so it's not.
But it says, but you can designate areas that are clear of this.
That is
I've
true.
done that. So you
So
can designate,
designate everything except a small area to be overgrown with plants. It only
Excellent.
enhances what's already there.
Okay, well, we'll just need to make sure. Well, when we've parked the car, as long as there's some
Yeah.
leafage.
I mean, you're not going very far with the cart, so one man
okay.
could pull it for a time, so you can move the cart over. It wouldn't be
Yeah,
difficult.
okay. I have a plan. I'm gonna see if there's I don't know, someone who can either sell me some seeds for a plant, or I'm just gonna grab a plant pot and nick a plant pot and put it out there.
I was
Druid,
about to say
I'll
we're
use
gonna need to
druid
nick a
craft.
plant.
Yeah, I'll use druid craft to make it sort of bud and grow a little bit if it's not a fully grown plant, and then she can use it, and then that works.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to say this works. And you successfully tie up the wheels of your cart with a plant.
Boom. Basically locksmiths. We have her for unlocking things, and the rest of us for locking things.
Excellent. Okay, well, with that, you can all enjoy the benefits of a long rest.
Woo!
Oh my lord.
Have a long rest.
All of this come back to life. Oh. Nice. I'm not paying for food, so I'm going to spend a ration. Wow. And, lovely spells back at the back. Click the long rest button for you, but I don't think you used anything of your spells for finding people. Actually, no, I think you did use Misty. Good job. The spell.
The next morning dawns bright and early. There is a large amount of hubbub in the tavern and about the city. There's lots of excitable talk as you enter the common room for breakfast. Again, you see the familiar sight of a lot more bars and things now about. You can see, but you have your breakfast. You get your day started. There is a notice as you step out onto the street. There is a noticeable flow to the crowd. Most people are travelling in the same direction. It's a pleasant morning. The sun is shining. The sky is blue, and the streets are quite well packed with people. And it's not just the density of the crowd that makes it difficult to see. There is still this very slight element of mist hanging over the city, despite the sun being bright and clear and shining down, and you can feel the warmth of it. You'd have thought a mist like this would have burned away in the heat of the morning, but for whatever reason, it seems to be lingering.
Those kids vaping again, isn't it?
Absolutely. Ripping fat vapes.
Damn kids.
And it smells like candy floss.
Ew. Going back to bed.
We're getting out of this city of the vaping everywhere. Fuck it.
You know
Rather
what those
deal-
Nazi types are like.
Would rather deal with a horde of undead than these fucking youths.
You join the crowds as they start to travel. You start to make your way through the streets. You find yourselves heading in a sort of northish direction towards the water and towards the castle that you can see rising above the buildings. The crowd seems to be gathering a little ways outside of that. Between the two, you find yourselves exiting the streets and entering a large public gardens. Yes.
Could I be keeping my eye out for either a blacksmith or some sort of magical shop this morning? I've just had an idea. Because Ben has just realised how much money he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a massively important thing, but Stix is just sort of keeping an eye out because obviously without his magical armor that he used to have, his AC isn't really that of a paladin anymore. So he's thinking about things that might help that, like a magic shield or some kind of magical thing that can help with his AC deficiency. AC. But otherwise, that's it. Just keeping an eye out as we're moving through these lovely crowds of people.
Yeah. Roll an investigation check.
Investigation. This is gonna go badly. Investigation. Never mind.
Yeah.
Very.
Is that badly?
Anything below a 20 is badly. Stix became a perfectionist overnight.
Then that's a fail then, because you've only rolled a 19 plus 1.
I know, so badly. That's why I said so badly.
Yeah, so as you're walking through, you do just manage to catch this short. You can see this. There's this shop and has these large purple and gold like banner over the top that reads Morgwyn's Magical Miscellany.
Oh.
And you can see the shop itself has been shut, but there is a set of stairs that leads up the side to a door on the side, which potentially you guess might be apartments over the shop. And currently, with a key in the lock, locking the door, is this human female with long sort of frizzy black hair, and seems to be dressed in quite fine purple and gold robes, similar colours to the sign, and then finishes turning the key in the lock and starts to make her way down the stairs to join the crowd.
Ah, right, she's joining the crowd.
She's not joined the crowd just yet, but you spot the shop and you spot her coming
Right.
down the stairs.
I'll really quickly just sort of like go up to her, like as if I'm going to go up to like the shop front, and sort of catch her eye and say, "Oh, hello. You don't happen to, as it closed, you don't happen to work here, do you? Or run this place? Might you be Morgwyn? I don't know."
She turns to you with a bright smile. Like, no. Morgan was my mother. I am Bistina. But yes, you're right. I own the shop.
Ah, yes. Hello, Bistina. I'm sorry. Is this a bad time? Are you not open? You seem to be.
Well, I was heading with everyone else to the opening speeches But I have a few moments. They shouldn't start for a little while. If you did want to step inside, she reaches into her robe and pulls out another key. Just without even looking, just reaches into her pocket and just a key. You barely see her hand like disappear into the robe, and she withdraws this key, inserts it into the lock, and it just then doesn't even touch it. It just rotates on its own, and the door unlocks.
Oh, fancy. Yes, I was looking for. Don't. And I once had a rather fancy set of armor that gave me a little more protection. You see, as a paladin of Zuriel and a somewhat druidic folk, I don't really like metal armors and things. So I like to protect myself by other means. I sadly lost this magical armor, and I was wondering if you had anything that might help me regain some of that protection that it might give me in other ways. This shield, I don't know if you can like enchant stuff, or I don't know, or whether you've got anything. I didn't want.
Yes, I have some level of enchantment skill. I am not most familiar with weapons and armaments. A few things do cross my path from time to time. I recall having one or two things potentially that aid in defense, although I believe they are not what's the word?
Useful.
Symbiotic with the use of armors at the same time.
Right. So it'd be like if I wasn't wearing armor, I could wear this. You know, I could use this thing. Okay. Oh, pardon me. Fair enough.
If you want to, you can leave me your name. If anything, again, does cross my path, I'm often buying and or selling. Then I can put you down and send you a message if something does come in.
My name is Stix. We're staying at the Bard's Tale Inn just down the way.
Excellent.
Anything comes in, we'll be there for like maybe a day or two. So if anything,
well, if something comes in the next, shortly, you never know what's going to happen with so many people in the city, so many things to trade and what have you.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get on back to the crowds and things. See you later.
Yeah, with that, she just like withdraws the key and locks the door again. Key disappears inside the robes.
Anyone else want to look for anything magical or fancy? Magic mouth.
Yeah.
If a scroll of magic.
Scroll of magic mouth. Yeah. It's like scroll. Let me have a quick look inside, and she pushes in. Why don't you all come on in? Inside you can see there's a shop that's quite a small little like front-facing section. There are shelves with sort of books and various items, a few potions, those sorts of things on it. And a large what's the word? Not till. A large like counter at the front with what looks like quite a comfy chair behind. You can imagine that magic isn't necessarily the most fast-moving trade, and so often she spends a lot of time just sort of waiting for customs. But when they do come, they can be quite lucrative. But she settles herself behind, pulls out a large ledger from underneath, and starts flicking through. Now, Magic Mouth is a second level spell or a first level spell?
I think it's second level. Wrong.
Magic Mouth, a second level spell. Okay. Right. So a second level spell would be a common magic item, wouldn't it? Right, really? Which would put you in the region of maybe uncommon. Ah, yes. I do actually have one of those on hand. And she flicks through another, pulls out another book and starts flicking through. And as she reaches what looks like to be a blank page, she mutters a couple of arcane words, and the page fills with text. She then grabs it by the corner and just removes it silently. It just slides silently out of the book. And she hands it across the counter to you, Klari. It's like, yes, I think that'll be just the thing you're looking for. It'll be 75 gold for that one.
Okay. 75 gold.
Anything else I can do for anyone else?
Yeah.
Do you have any arrows or anything that is magic? Or I know you said you didn't have many.
Yeah.
No, weapons aren't really my forte. I mean, given enough interest, it might be something worth branching out. But I tend to deal in more,
Items.
more items and knickknacks and trinkets and the like. It's an area I need to study a little bit more on to know what I should be buying and selling, really. There may be a few blacksmiths around that might be able to give you what you're looking for.
She doesn't happen to have like a ring of spell storing, does she?
A ring of
I think that's what it's called.
spell storing.
Is that what it's called?
That is an item that you cast spells into.
Ooh, that's quite a good idea. Yeah, we can. It's always good to have like a healing spell or a backup. I don't know. Could you cast like Revivify into it, and then
you
back
just
up.
have it, yeah.
Yeah,
probably better.
If you cast it into the ring, it would. I believe the way the ring works. I'm just trying to find it. Is that the spell would be consumed at that point, but then be stored. So you then wouldn't need the component. Restore spells cast into it. Consult final spells. Any creature cast into it by touching the ring of cast spells. No effect other than being stored in the ring. If the ring can't hold spells, spell slot used to cast spell turns have a space it uses while we're in the ring. You can cast any spell stored within it. Spell slot uses. Use spell slot level, spell save DC, attack bonus, the original caster, but is otherwise treated if you cast a spell. Yeah. So yes, you could store a Revivify in it or something like that. Roll a D100 for me.
Ooh, 75.
75.
Bad.
Okay. Yes. I do have such a thing. If you take a look at the shelf behind you, you can see it there. And he points, and there is this quite large gold ring on it, inset with this large blue sapphire. It looks like. It's like, yes, I believe this was. Well, I got this off a gentleman who bought it for his prospective wife. You know, looking to, as any good lord should, to protect his wife. Unfortunately, he was, how you say, swindled hook, line, and sinker. And when he discovered the nature of his bride to be, decided he wanted nothing more to do with her and or any of the things he bought for her. So I managed to get this one for quite the discount, actually. Yes, it's quite a princely piece. For this, you'd be looking at something in the region of around 2,000 gold pieces.
How many
here's-
spells does it store?
It stores up to 5 levels worth of spells. So that could be 5 first level spells, a second and a third level spell, a fourth and a first level spell, 1 fifth level spell, any combination.
And it.
For a group,
keep
a lot of
doing that.
spells.
Yes, so it can store up to 5,
Yeah.
and it holds it. And so
Yeah,
if you cast Revivify into it,
Mhm.
and then you cast, say, and say Stix cast a level 2 branding smite or something like that into it, then it would be full. But if you then used, say, Stix, then use the smite, you then cast a level 2 spell of something else, or a level 1,
2 level 1.
2 level 1s of something else.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm going to do it.
you can do it.
I would like to sort of, hearing that she has it, can I try and do a similar thing to what I did to the barkeep yesterday? Try and, again, sort of who we know, what we've been up to, the kind of things we deal with, how badly we need this, what we're coming up against as well, with the potential of the rumors around the desert and what we're trying to fight against. Maybe that might be able to persuade her a little bit into, giving us maybe just a slight discount. Would you allow me to
try? Yeah.
persuasion for that?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
I
how are you rolling so well today?
don't know.
This is not going to last.
No, it's not. We're going to roll initiative. I'm going to roll like 2 nat ones.
You know what? I did get this for somewhat less than it's worth, so we'll say 1,700.
Yes.
1,700. That sounds a lot better. And I think, given how useful the item will be, not just to obviously you, Arwen, but to the whole party, I think Stix is happy to put in some money towards this as well. Yeah. So 1,700. What's that divided by 3?
I don't mind paying the 1,000
Okay, and then we'll just pay.
and then you.
Each.
Yeah. 350 each. Yeah, and then we'll say obviously you paid the most, you wear it. Yeah, so
It is an attuned item, so you will have to spend an hour to attune to it.
It's fine. I'll just, like in Lord of the Rings, just go gossip on it.
And starts hooking fish out of the nearby ponds.
1844. You are now on.
Okay.
Another of
Yeah.
money.
She closes the books and puts them away and says, well, if there really is nothing else, I think we should all get on, as we should be there just in time for the start of the speeches.
Who's giving these speeches? What is this thing? Like, we've heard it's obviously like the festival of crafts or whatever, but
Indeed. This is a festival hosted every year for the last 10, 12 years, something like that. The sponsor of the festival is His Lordship. Pardon?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yes, the sponsor is His Lordship Raid and his lady wife Shadow Legends. No, the sponsor of the event is the Lord Motsignir.
Is the Lord what, sorry?
Motsignir.
Motsignir.
Yeah. Motsignir. Motsignir.
Motsignir.
Yes, well, he sponsored this event for, well, I say 10, 12 years. It's only been quite what it is in recent history, but there has been some, maybe the last 20 or so years, he's been building this up and establishing, as Rosenzen, the city itself, has grown, so too has it. He's a magnificent craftsman within the city, well renowned throughout the city and throughout the kingdom wider. The grand prize, what people compete for, is his tutelage. They submit their works in the hope that he will take them on as his apprentice, as he does every year, and the apprenticeship alone is worth goodness knows how much in gold. Those who study under him certainly do not regret it.
Interesting.
Yes, his skills with metalwork are remarkable. I've never seen anything quite like it. But yes, and then over time, it initially started with just blacksmithing. People would show what they could already bring to the table, and he would expand upon that knowledge for them, and then they would set out and set themselves up, and any lord or king or whoever would be gladly have someone trained in his name, working for them.
Okay.
Yes. And so he sponsors it. He puts up all the prize money, and so forth. And slowly over time, the number of competitions expanded. Although he does not take on additional apprentices, he does sponsor the paintings, the sculpting. All the prize money is his. He's also a collector of the fine arts, so he does. He collects the submissions as well, and those who choose to present it as a gift for their prize money, essentially. And I'm told he has an expansive collection. He must do after so many years of collecting such fine things, but where on earth he keeps it is unknown.
The same place all parents keep children's artwork when it magically disappears off the fridge.
Yikes.
Lebin.
Ah yes, the well-renowned gallery of Lebin.
Are we your parents putting work on milkshakes? But I want to know.
Bring what?
Fridge, but never mind. Joke lost on all.
I heard something about milkshakes and I got confused.
I said, why are your parents putting artwork on milkshakes?
In the fridge. I like it.
I'm still not sure I get it.
The fridge milks.
The fridge milkshakes.
milks.
RIJJ milkshakes. We don't see those in
Fridge
shops.
milks.
No.
Like Yazoo, but a different brand entirely.
No, I haven't.
Fridge milks.
Oh, you uncultured swine.
Apparently so.
Fridge.
Well, while you pull it up.
Fridge milks. Yum yum yum.
Beautiful. So, you guys make your way through the remainder of the city, eventually finding yourselves at a large outdoor garden parks. People are gathered. The remainder of your journey through the streets is reasonably reasonably empty now. Most people that are attending have made their way here now, and you can see there is a large central stage in one over to one side, and surrounding it are several rows of banked seating, and then beyond that, everyone else just has to stand. The crowd is maybe 10, 12 deep as they spread around in this large semicircle around this stage. Most people have sort of tried to gather in the shade of the trees that are blossoming beautifully in the morning sun. On the stage you can see a small collection of people. There is a lordly looking human and what looks to be his lady wife and their daughter standing between them. All have quite dark brown hair. The Lord himself is quite short actually. He is probably sort of 6 inches shorter than his wife, and his daughter, although from this distance you can still see she's quite young, is also quite tall for her age, already coming up to his shoulder. He's quite a portly fellow, starting to thin on top. Behind them stands a tall armoured figure, coal black fur and large pointed horns. A Minotaur just stands with a double-bladed great axe, probably 6 feet tall, just in one hand, standing, his head slowly moving backwards and forth in a almost like lazy manner as he just gently scans the crowd. Yes.
Is the Minotaur 6 feet, or is the Great Axe?
The Great Axe is 6 feet.
Jesus, how tall is this Minotaur?
Probably a good sort of 7 feet tall, something like that.
Oh, good lord.
Another question. Minotaurs, is that like a normal thing to see?
That's very unusual to see.
Okay.
Except that cowman we saw.
Yeah. I mean, you might find one or two about, but they are not native Kavranians.
Exciting.
Huh. Fascinating. I bet I could take them.
No. I mean, probably, but no.
There are also a number of guards arrayed around the front edge of the stage. You can see a couple of them. The sunlight shining quite brightly off their helms. At the back of the stage, there is another group of, there's 3 armoured, well, 2 of them are armoured, one of them is not. There is both a woman and a man are 2 of the armoured ones, and then there is another woman wearing long, dark coal grey, dark sort of ash grey robes. You can see they're all wearing the same sort of ash grey colours. The 2 knights, as it were, have armour and grey cloaks like slung over their shoulders. They wear, their armour is enamelled white and grey, you can see, whereas this robed figure is just dressed in this singular dark grey robe. You can even see from a distance it is quite a rich cloth, where it's gathered. There is intricate white stitching covering it, but you can't make out from this distance what the detailing of that stitching would be. And heavy-looking silver or white chain hangs around their neck. They stand at the back of the stage, just sort of surveying the crowd. And then, standing at the front of the stage is a powerfully built dwarf. He has a long, braided beard, and is in the middle of giving a speech. There is also, you can see he's very powerfully built. He's very well, richly dressed in fine robes, or fine, like a fine doublet and things. But you can see he's got the sleeves rolled up, and you see incredibly strong forearms that you would expect of someone that has spent their life pounding an anvil, essentially. And as you arrive, you catch what seems to be towards the tail end of his speech. One and all, I wish you all the best of luck in the competitions to come. I look forward to seeing what everyone has brought to the show. Fashion, painting, stonecraft, carpentry, poetry, singing, and my great passion, weaponsmithing and armorsmithing. To the victor, of course, the best blacksmith shall receive tutelage from me for the coming year. To the other victors, competitions, small and large, purses to change your lives. Hundreds or thousands worth of gold is available to be won. Now I pass you back to our Lord of the City, Lord Rickard. He has a few more words to say before we depart. With that, he steps towards the back of the stage, and the short, lordly-looking man with the boy head steps forward. As he does so, the Minotaur shifts his position, and you can hear the heavy clomp of his shoes or his hooves as he just follows in step, remaining sort of 3 or 4 paces behind. Lord Rickard steps up and is like, "Thank you, Lord Monsignia. We are again pleased to welcome everyone to the city who has travelled quite so far and is looking to compete for prizes beyond measure. His continued sponsorship of the festival is an asset to the city of Rosenzen, and we welcome all visitors in this time. Please remember, keep the peace. Those of you travelling, who I'm sure you'd all wish to return home to your families and not end up in one of our lovely jail cells." Small sort of ripple of laughs throughout the crowd. Be good hosts to the city and show them the best that Rosenzen has to offer. I will also remind you that there is a curfew in place for everyone's own safety at this time. As he gets to this, there are a few sort of murmurings throughout the crowd, especially from the visitors and things like that. You hear a couple of people nearby say, "Curfew, I wasn't here last time we were in the city. I wonder what's going on." Well, maybe I'll tell her, shut up. So, with that, I wish you the best of luck. A voice suddenly shouts out from the crowd, "What's the curfew about?" It is just a matter of safety. There have been a few incidents in the evenings that we are investigating, and for everyone's protection we would like you all to remain indoors after the hours of midnight until the hours of sunrise. Another voice sort of pipes up. This is supposed to be a festival. We expect us to be in bed by midnight. More shouts. And the crowd sort of starts to get a bit of a hubbub. You won't tell us what's going on. Why should we follow the rules if you're not telling us what's going on?
I would like to shout out. You can't tell me what to do, Mum. And yeah.
The Stix will just be like, yeah! Like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Right?
Yeah.
As the crowd starts to shout a lot, and the Minotaur just like raises the axe off the ground, and there's just this. It pounds the ground a singular time, and it's not a particularly like decisive blow. It doesn't have to raise it particularly high, but it just rings throughout the area. And this stage seems to be set up either architecturally or magically, that sound from the stage is projected much more. From the speeches that were given, you never got the sense that they were particularly raising their voices, yet they carried. And as this beat strikes the ground, silence just cuts through the crowd.
Stix just looking at that axe like, oh, I want one.
He's probably taller than you.
Oh yeah, he's probably he's probably taller than me, and that axe is the size of me. Probably work quite as well.
Yeah. Lord Regard just looks over his shoulder. Thank you, Zardor. Yes, well, I wish you all the competitors the best of luck. Everyone enjoy the entertainments. I announce the festivals open. And there's a cheer and clapping from the crowd, and people start to drift away, spreading out throughout the park and throughout the streets. You can see now as people spread out around this park, there are several different small stages set up around, multiple stalls for entertainment, food carts and food stands and those sorts of things, and to match those that you passed by as you wandered through the streets on your way here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a map?
There is not a map.
They don't hand out mini maps. This is the worst festival ever.
I know, right? Oh.
Yeah. As you look around, you can already see some of the stages. Different people are bringing out things and setting up easels and stuff like that, and large pieces of artwork are being brought out and set up for display. Seems like day one is paintings. Paintings and artworks.
How many days are there?
Asking around, you could quite easily find out there are 7 days of festivities.
Oh, God.
Each day is devoted to one or two different disciplines. Day one is paintings and fashion. So there's artworks of two different varieties.
Okay. I think so. We actually know that the things at night, the reason there's a curfew is because there's like ghosts and undead shit, right? I feel like whilst there's nothing really going on that we're interested in, because I mean, any of you guys paint or sew or make clothes? No, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that silence as a no.
I steal shoes.
We do steal shoes and we kill shit, so that's not really part of our force. We're not really craftsmen, other than craftsmen in chaos.
No, but as you said, we do steal shit.
We do steal shit. Maybe we shouldn't steal shit from here. Okay, maybe when it comes down to like the weaponsmithing bit
and the armor.
Maybe, and the armor. Maybe then we might be able to politely request for items and or purchase them with proper monies, not steal.
Worst
But,
case scenario. Steal.
Worst case scenario, depends on the item. But until that point, I think we could probably do with looking into the shit going on, the wobbly shit, the undead shit that's going on.
Okay.
Because I think it might be some kind of bleeding effect from what's going on in the desert. This place being quite close to the desert, maybe some undead things coming here and causing a ruckus, and shit could get quite bad, especially with a lot of people here. So that's something we want to look into, potentially. Unless anyone literally wants to go watch paint dry, because that's what people are doing here. Or unless anyone else had any ideas of what we could do here. I don't know. Don't have many ideas.
When's the singing day?
The singing day is the second day.
Excellent. We've got to come here and throw things at the singers.
Also, technically, we're a band now, so should we pair something? I got a pan flute. I'm pretty
so
good.
Do I. Oh, we're gonna
Oh, look at this. Oh, no. It's
we're a flute
one of us do the
band.
high, one of us do the low, and then we'll harmonise.
Oh, yeah.
Klari, can you sing? Okay, you know what? You're pretty good with daggers. We'll just replace those daggers with drumsticks. And I think you'll be pretty good. Can you sneak attack a drum? I reckon you can sneak attack a drum. We'll do that. Neo, can you sing? Can you give us sweet, sweet melodies?
Neo just sort of pauses things a second. I mean, I used to know a few marching songs, I feel like.
That. Okay, imagine that, but not a marching song. Like another that could be quite helpful.
I mean, a marching song's just a song, right? That you sing on the march, so...
Yeah, but we won't be marching. None of these people in this city are marching, are they?
Yeah. Just stand still. And
You stand
march
still
in
and
your head.
maybe. Okay, we got a lot of work to put into this.
Yes, maybe we need a whole day of rehearsal instead.
Maybe we do. God, so much going on in this city.
JJ, you didn't plan for that, did you?
yeah, you guys can do what you like. You want to spend a day rehearsing? That is entirely up to you.
Who's doing the high notes then?
You wanna hash this out in real time? We got 2 hours of this. You can hash it out in real time, plan your song and everything.
We need to have a grand band fight as well, you know. Really amp up the tension and then come together at the very end.
Yeah.
Everyone goes their own way and has their own epiphany journey as to why the band is actually the best thing for them.
Exactly. There you go. See?
This is going to test my storytelling skills. This will be my greatest test. And I shall rise to the occasion and realise that I am the one true DM all along.
Oh man, or maybe it'd be like a School of Rock situation where we just find a bunch of kids and get them to do all the singing and stuff for us.
Ooh. I love cheap labour.
That was one of the worst things you could say after I said what I said. That's...
At least you didn't say I love slave labour.
Yeah, at least
That's why I
I'm
said
paying
one
them
of the
something.
worst things you could say. Not the worst thing. But you know, what else is good? What
I'm
else
paying them in
is good
experience.
for?
Oh no. That's the worst thing you could have said.
No. Yeah, I'll tell you
Exposure.
what. We'll be paying these kids the exposure. Because let's face it, what was Jack Black paying those kids in that movie?
Oh,
If
nothing.
not,
Life experience.
He was teaching them.
I guess.
Not
Sort
well.
of. Not well, no. Anyway,
Yeah,
what's
what
the,
we do?
You guys are currently walking around this public garden, having a conversation while you walk past various stages and things. Some of them seem to have been set up with currently pre-made, like things people have brought out. There are beautiful landscapes and things like that. On one of them, you can see a beautiful landscape of silvery white snow-capped mountains lining the canvas, tall trees dotting the foreground in darker greens and almost sort of purpley hues. The mountains themselves reflected in a calm, still lake right at the very, very front edge. And side by side on the same stage setup has been one of a castle set on a tall hill surrounded by a sea of green grass. Surrounding area is dotted with bushy trees and a vast farmland. The castle is grand. Tall towers, high walls that could see for miles and miles around. Other stages are set up with groups of maybe 4 or 5 people. Something is put in front of them, and you can see as you're walking past there are a bunch of artists furiously sketching and drawing away, with bits of charcoal and one, with paint and things like that. There's an official looking man just stands on stage and looking at what you say. Another half hour on the contestants' pictures. You can see, there is just a simple still life, a bowl of fruit. You can see people sort of wandering around the stage. It's designed so people can wander around the back and have a look at what all the different artists are doing on this one picture.
Is there a life drawing stage?
Yeah, there is indeed. It
Big
is not.
naked man.
It is not. It is not fully nude
Oh.
for the sake of the children's eyes.
well, then it's art.
There are sort of robes and things like that are artfully. There is a woman on one sort of lying on a bed, and almost like a curtain is sort of like
Tastefully draped.
Exactly, tastefully like sort of draped across the chest and then coiled around a leg and things like that.
No.
Hey guys, I have an idea. Do you want to see something funny? And I'll go up to sort of where this is, and I'm just going to stealthily skunk.
What are you skunking?
Skunk with the person in the middle so they move whenever I have to change their pictures.
Oh, yes.
Keep rolling the dice on there. We can't see.
Yes.
So you do this. You roll and you roll. Yeah, you cast Druidcraft and create the faint smell of skunk wafting around them, and there were a few sort of people who are wandering past. A few sort of murmurs, and you see one of the artists look distinctly perturbed as they're working away, and they look around their thing, and you can see this man that's actually stood posing with he's got this long spear in one hand and a helmet under his arm in the other, posing, and he's just sort of shifted to like the helmet has a long plume on it. He shifted from having the helmet tucked under one arm to just bring it slightly in front of his face, so the tassels are just sort of covering his nose. And you can see this artist like furiously like trying to make adjustments to their picture.
And so it begins.
What have I done?
Druidcraft, a slight gust of wind. on the lady with the tasteful drape.
Okay. Yeah, the slight gust of wind blows through. She, as it just sort of starts to lift, she just like takes her hand and just like places it across it and just sort of pins it quite carefully in place. Never the consummate professional. Clearly, she was anticipating some sort of wind or breeze being outside.
She's prepared.
Yeah,
I respect it.
as you watch this, for a time, eventually, sort of a gong rings out, and you can see, there's a huge number of people involved in this. All the pictures are essentially gathered. The artists step back, and you hear various shouts of from different areas around. Give your support for, and then the bard's name is, or artist's name is called out, and the crowd sort of give cheers and things like that, and 3, 4, 5 different people working around each thing, and then the contestants seem to be they are being chosen by popular vote. Whoever lends, whichever the crowds sort of lend their support to the most. And you can see. As this is done, the officials, step forward and grant the winner a small purse of coin, it seems, for these early competitions. And there's a slight pause as the artists are changed, new easels are set up and those sorts of things. As you continue to wander through past food stalls and things like that, you come across one of your first game stalls that you spot.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see there is a long, there's 2 long fences set up with a rope across the front, and down at the far end are a number of sort of 6 or 7 different posts set up, sort of 4 in the front, 3 slightly behind, and on each one of them is perched a coconut.
You just have to throw stuff at a coconut.
Indeed. There's a small stall off to the side,
Hooray!
and a cheerful-looking, human woman is standing. It's like, care to try your luck at the coconut shy?
Yes.
Fuck it.
It's one
Why
copper
not?
piece to play, and you get 4 chances to hit 3 coconuts to win a prize.
4 chances to hit 3 coconuts. You got this. I'm gonna leave it to you ladies. While we'll be stood back here doing nothing.
Okay.
And not drunking anyone.
You better not.
Mm-hmm. So, you'd like to play?
Yeah.
Okay. Who'd like to play first?
I thought there was 2.
Would you play one at a time?
Oh.
There's 2 fences that sort of like hold this whole arrangement.
Well, me and Clary were going to do it in sync, just really like... bam.
I mean, there are 7 targets, so in theory you could both play at the same time. But the premise is, there are a lot of targets. So, who would like to go first?
Does Clary want to go first?
Yeah, can do.
Okay. Yeah, you step up. She hands you 4 they're sort of large wooden blocks that have been rounded off on all the corners. They're a little bit awkward to hold, but they've got a decent weight to them as you heft them in your hand, and it's like, and you step up to this rope line across the front to take your first shot. If you'd like to aim for a coconut, roll dexterity. Roll a ranged attack.
Or just wait straight decks or
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, so with perfect ease, you heft this first block, holding the other three in the other hand, and just smack. And there's this nice cracking noise as it whips one of them straight off the top. Roll again. Second one is very slightly off target. You can just see it just grazes the hair on the top of the coconut as it whistles by. Third attempt. It's close again, but unfortunately it just skates right on by. Final one is a solid hit. It's like, oh, that's bad luck. 2 out of 3. If you for an extra copper piece, I'll give you another chance. Another.
I'll let Arwen go first, but I might die.
Nice.
That's a dex save.
Ah! Wrong button. Can I take it anyway?
No. You can take the dice roll if you want. And then add your dexterity modifier to the dice roll.
Was that 17?
Yeah,
18, 19, 21.
21. So, first one, yeah, much like Klari. It's straight. There's a nice cracking noise as you knock it off. 11. This one, you hit it, but they're perched on little rings that just hold the base in. It just doesn't quite have the power to knock it off. 19. Yeah, this one's clean. It's almost like seeing it wobbling as it's thinking of it. You line it up, you whip it straight off the top again.
Is it one more?
Yeah, final chance.
Fuck.
It's close. You hit it, and it almost pops out of the ring, and the block goes up into the air above it. And as it's coming down, it just nudges it slightly so it doesn't settle back in the ring, and it drops off.
Wait. So did I get it?
You got it.
Oh,
3 out of 4.
nice. Do I win?
It's like, congratulations. Your prize. And she reaches on the table and pulls out a coconut and a hatchet. And what she does is she just cleanly takes the top off the coconut, pulls out a thing of rum and pours some into the coconut, mixes it around, gets out a little umbrella, puts it in top, and hands it over to you.
Thank you
You're welcome.
for this Malibu. Yum, yum. I was really hoping for another squishy squid, but this is fine.
Is that what the prize is every time?
Oh,
Indeed, and she gestures under the table. You can see now as it pulls back a curtain, and there's probably 200 or 300 coconuts underneath.
Where is she getting all these coconuts?
do you have a straw, madam?
I've got some straw I used to pack the
A
coconuts.
straw. A straw. You can't give me an umbrella and no straw.
Yes, an umbrella, more of a tiny flag.
How will this fancy lady drink her drink?
She just chuckles.
I don't see how this is funny.
What would everyone like to do? You mentioned investigating some things that you were looking into some things, or you can carry on having a look around the various paintings and things. As you've started to sort of cross a little bit away, and you can see the transition between paintings and various artworks like that into more of a fashion show type collection of stages.
Fashion show type.
Yeah, there are some mannequins and things like that stood with outfits on them. Some of them looking quite regal, some of them more vibrant and less practical. One stage has a large collection of just capes and cloaks upon it in sort of all different shades. One of them just seems to be a showcase of a creator's works. They have set up almost like a rainbow cascade of different cloaks, all on this large rack, and there is quite a sort of already looking quite worn out. There is a youth there, sort of like grinding a handle to make them all slowly revolve around and around. This lad is sort of 13 or 14 is already looking like, oh god, I'm gonna have to do this all day.
I don't mind. What's everyone feeling? We feeling fashiony, or are we feeling undead hunting?
Do we have to walk? What?
I was going to say my divine sense, but my divine sense is dog shit. However, you have a thing.
I've got primeval awareness.
Yeah, don't you have that? Yeah, that primeval awareness thing that allows you to locate creatures.
Well. I can. It doesn't tell me how many. What does it tell me how many? No.
You can sense whether the following types of creature are present within 1 mile of you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll cast primeval awareness.
All right. So what level spell slot are you expending?
How far?
It affects the duration, not the range.
Yeah.
I feel like just like lowest you
First
go.
level.
Yeah. And then we'll sort of
work.
work.
Range sense focus your awareness around you for 1 minute per level of spell. So every 1 minute you can sense whether the following types of creature are present. This doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
Yeah, that's fine. But if they're like around.
Yeah, so Arwen plonks herself down sort of against a tree and focuses her awareness out around her, trying to tune out the various musicians and sort of the shouts of the different members of the crowd as they're cheering on different artists and so forth. Focusing on this undead, maybe trying to hark back to the last time you remember actually seeing some undead and sort of how it felt being in their presence, trying to sense that presence within the city. So up to 1 mile away from you. Focus for a little bit, and then eventually as you complete, take a few seconds to complete this action, you get boop, 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 several undead pings within 1 mile of you.
Dudes! There is dead.
Do we know the? Oh, do we know the general location of them, or just
Only
the
within
fact?
a mile.
Only that they are within 1 mile of you.
Ah, okay. So mind immediately goes to underground.
Ooh. I think that's a good shout,
Or because like it's within 1 mile, and this is a pretty big city, busy city as well. People would notice if there was just some fucking undead walking around.
Is there
right?
like a cemetery somewhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like
Is
that's
that within 1 mile of us?
Oh yeah.
Is that within 1 mile?
You wouldn't know. the closest major landmark to you is either the water's edge or the castle itself, which you are quite close to. There are a number of guards and things about. They seem to come in sort of two distinct varieties. Looking around for guards, they're just sort of generally keeping an eye on things, making sure people don't get too rowdy. You can see there are people who have already taken it upon themselves to consume all the beer they possibly can.
My kind of party.
As people do when there is a festival going. The guards come in two distinct styles. There are these quite lightly armoured sort of general guards that you have interacted with previously. And then there are the more heavily armoured guards. They wear, things like breastplates or half plate. Generally like heavy armour. They have this distinct grey and white coloration to them with these grey cloaks.
I don't think we have to look. We have to talk to like someone too high up.
Yeah, we can probably ask. Maybe just someone, just like a regular guard, if there's anything like underneath the city.
Yeah.
And potentially the direction of a graveyard as well. Let's go over and ask. I'm going to say one of the more heavily guarded ones because we if they're here, I feel like we might as well get their opinion.
Yeah.
Go over and say hello. How's it going?
Are you lost? Do you need of aid?
No. My name is Stix, Arwen, Klari, Neo, and we are here to help this city with a problem. A problem that might be starting the curfew, if you catch my drift. A problem of euphemisms. A problem I know you are dying to get rid of. Does this guy seem to have any idea what I'm talking about?
There is a fairly sort of well-maintained expression of polite interest in what you're saying. But their expression hasn't changed since you started talking.
I will somewhat cut to the chase. Do you know the true... we have been told by a captain of the guard, Captain York? Or Jork? Was it Jork or York?
Jork. Or Jork.
Jork.
It'd be with a J.
Right, okay. Yeah. Right, yeah. But I've been playing too much AC Valhalla with fucking Norwegians putting J's as Y's for some reason. So we've been talking to Captain... We've spoken to Captain Jork, and he has told us of the issue that dangers this city at night. And we would like to help, and we would just like to know whether there might be anything underneath this city where things could hide, any sewers or catacombs or anything such as that.
Well, it's the history of the city that you're after. Indeed, there are well reported that the catacombs under the castle have been there for many years, many centuries even. Yes, but if you're concerned about the catacombs, we appreciate your help and the offer of help to the city, but they have been thoroughly investigated and explored.
Okay. Do you know where an entrance would be? We would just like to cross this off our list, as it were. Just to double sure, we're not questioning, your ability as guards or anything like that. Absolutely not. We just want to. We have certain medical abilities that might help us detect these sorts of things, and also we could keep an eye on these things while you guards. You have a whole festival to be dealing with right now. You don't need to be searching down under friggin' catacombs and dark areas and dank areas. It's awful. Also, would you know where the city graveyard is in comparison to us? How far away is it? What direction can we find it in?
I assure you the matter is well in hand.
Sure.
These are not simple guards of the city. We are investigating the matter thoroughly.
Yes, but surely any help would be appreciated, especially help of 2 paladins. I'm literally here to kill undead. That's my entire thing.
To our paladins as well. What order are you from?
I am a paladin of Zuriel. Not of any particular order, but I've been trained highly. One could say I've been trained by a higher power for this exact mission.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, not quite in the same way, but yeah. Sure. And this good man is Neo. He was trained in the ways of a very ancient order of knights. He managed to find some of their teachings, and was trained by people. Someone out here should have thought about this before I started speaking.
Well, if you are looking for, there are several graveyards throughout. There are several small churches throughout the city. The largest one, of course, is at the cathedral itself.
That sounds catacombsy.
Yeah. Any of those within about a mile of us? Do you reckon?
Sir, is this within a mile of us?
Yes, I suppose the cathedral would probably be within about a mile of here.
Okay. Perfect. So there's the big one by the cathedral, and catacombs. Okay. Thank you very much. You've been very, very helpful, and I'll just flick him a gold piece.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Every little helps.
Your donation to the church is appreciated.
Absolutely. What church is it, you guys? Fought here. What god would this cathedral be to?
It is the cathedral to Salathiel.
Salathiel, I believe, mentioned this. The god of death. Yes. Excellent. Thank you very much. Be seeing you. Happy festival, darling. Bye.
And to you as well. Enjoy the festivities.
Guarding.
Oh, happy festival, darling.
Happy festival, darling. Oh no. Nail kill. Alrighty. I guess head over to the cathedral then. Ask around. I wonder if we need to discuss, what we're telling people about you. Which I'm really surprised we haven't done this entire fucking time. Because these people are clearly, like, if we go to a cathedral, they're gonna be asking us questions about, who trained us and where we're from and stuff. What are we going to tell them about you, per se?
That I'm a Knight of Aegis.
Okay, Knight of Aegis. Do you think that's going to raise some questions? A lot of questions. Perhaps the fact that they're, gone. Have been gone for a very long time. Also, if it is your dad in the desert, how do we know that he's not keeping tabs on things? I don't know if we start throwing the words Knights of Aegis around and all that crap. Word isn't going to get out. Things aren't going to start happening. Call me paranoid, but I just feel like. And of course, we can throw, mention all that stuff, but I just feel like it might be something to discuss.
What would you propose instead?
I don't know. more of a group discussion, come up with ideas moment.
We're not
Dunno.
all converting to Zuriel.
No, I'm not saying y'all need to convert to Zuriel. Jeez.
She's a lovely lady, but
She wasn't. She was. She was very lovely when she wasn't hitting me with a stick. I'm fine, really. No.
Neo just leans into you. I was like, he probably deserved it.
probably.
So, like, yeah, what? I mean, we could just say, like, we could. No. What's Neo's, like, holy symbol? Does he have is it a holy symbol, or is it just a symbol of the Knights of
Isn't it that shield with like a thing down the middle and a... No? No. It's got a thing down the middle, I know that much.
The thing you would have seen, probably, if you were paying attention, the thing that probably most signifies his connection to a faith would be his ring, which has the symbol of a shield on it that is divided into 6 with a spear behind. But it's very small on the ring, so it does just look like almost a bit like like a shield with 3 lines across it to divide it, and then the line down the centre is much taller.
And do we know what that? Do we know what that that is? Like, do we know what religion that is?
I think it... I mean, Neo can obviously tell us what it actually is, but I think it is the Knights of Aegis, because it's split into 6, which is tieflings, humans, elves, dwarves, orcs, and something. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking too far into this. Yeah, what is it really?
It's just the symbol of the knights.
Ooh. What does it mean?
Well, when you see it proper, it is colourful. It's supposed to represent the shield and the spear. Simple weapons to guard the simple folk. The colours represent everyone together.
The tiefling.
That was the knight's belief, that everyone was worth protecting, that everyone needed to come together to protect themselves and each other.
Is it because there were 6 races?
I don't think it was 6, no.
Okay.
It was just a nice number.
You know what? I think, actually, thinking about it, saying Knights of Aegis could be... Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe, actually, it won't cause us too much trouble.
I mean, we have seen a few, like that, travelling load of people who were like, oh, the knights.
Yeah,
So
they're definitely...
people do mention them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a good point.
Yeah, I mean, you would probably remember that the Knights of Aegis are kind of like the Knights of the Round Table. The equivalent of people don't really think that they existed. They are just a nice story of, the stereotypical good knights that, looked after everyone, and the sort of typical embodiment of the knight in shining armor is what their story has become, basically.
This is part of the reason why I'm saying maybe saying Knights of Aegis also isn't a good idea, because people might just like not believe you or think you're like a, like a wannabe, And as much as that is somewhat noble, restarting up the Knights of Aegis, hey, sign me the fuck up, maybe.
Oh my god, are we gonna be the new knights?
Bum, bum, bum. We're not a particularly diverse group to be the new knights, though. We're like 2 half-elves and tiefling. We're missing a few. And wherever Clary's from, I don't know if they have knights. I don't know if they can be involved when we represent. Fuck it, you can be a knight. I'm just saying, boom. Oh, that's sad.
Sorry.
um,
Yeah, we've got a dragon as well, and a hedgehog. I mean,
Yeah.
that's very diverse.
I think, yeah, and a thing from the deer from the Feywild. I wouldn't necessarily say he speaks for the Feywild, but he's fucking at all. He bites things and spits. But yeah, okay, fuck. We'll see if we'll improvise, but it's just a thing to think about if anyone brings it up to you. And I think on that note, we'll just keep going to the cathedral and see what we can see. That's it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if we are done with this conversation, might that be a good time for a really quick 5-minute break?
Yeah.
First,
We'll take a real quick break there. See you all in 5 minutes.
I'm disappointed and I'm not eating it.
What a way to start. Welcome back, everyone. Ben has some disappointing food. He doesn't like raisins.
At least you didn't sit on it.
That is true. This one has a good sat on.
No, I guess it would
Why
like
did you think it had chocolate?
Oh, we guess we're not starting yet.
Sorry.
The great raisin debate rages on.
Didn't read the picture, okay? so Panetonian.
So, you guys are making your way across the city. The streets, slowly decrease as you get away, or sort of rapidly decrease as you get away from the main park, but then maintain a reasonable level of population. Different sorts of stalls, food stalls, drink stalls, and stuff like that. As you're walking along, you see there's an artist running towards you. Has like a couple of scrolls, rolled up, large, like sheets of paper under one arm, and it's gripping several sort of paintbrushes and a box in one hand. Sort of quite light blonde hair. It's wearing a blue doublet and has a white hat on. You see the funny one going, "Oh crap, mate! Oh crap, mate! I shouldn't have overslept. Shouldn't have overslept." And he just sort of shoots past you, running, making his way towards the main festivities. You carry on for a couple more streets before you hear a voice shouting out, "Last call. Any more competitors? Anyone else going to take on the challenge? Last call."
Just gonna shout over, "What's the challenge?"
Yeah. Around the corner, you see a large, almost gazebo-like thing. The sides of this tent have been rolled up. So essentially, you can see various sort of tables. There's one large, long bench table along the back of the tent that has 4 people sat at it already. Each of them has a pint tankard in front of them.
Oh, yes. I was put on this earth for this reason. I wasn't. Stix isn't good. It's liquor.
Any more competitors? Anyone else taking part?
Yeah. Fuck it. Hello. Veer off from the group and be like, "Yes, hello, hi. What is this? This looks like drinking."
Indeed, sir. Come in, have a seat. Gestures usual to say, "We've got room for one more." You take one of the seats and he's like, "One more. Anyone else?"
Anyone else fancy getting fucked up before we potentially go into a very dangerous situation?
Very good thing.
Did I say I'm a good paladin?
Anyone else taking part? Arwen, Klari.
I'm still sipping my Malibu.
Yeah, okay, you still enjoying your coconut cocktail?
Okay, Clary doesn't really like alcohol.
Okay.
If no one's gonna sip,
If no one's gonna say, okay. If you have to.
I'll tip my remaining stuff into the jug.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they come, it's like, alright, well, 1 silver piece to compete.
Oh Christ, on a bike. Taking all my money. How many silvers in a gold?
10 silver and a gold.
Oh, gold. Okay. Right.
Oh. Okay, so. And. No.
And then. There we go.
Okay. So, yeah, next to you guys at the table is an array of people already. There's a stout-looking dwarven woman, quite a hardy looking. You can guess he's probably sort of a farmer. He's got sort of deep, sort of dark brown, weathered skin. Someone who spends a lot of time in the sun. Quite a large sort of pot belly on him. There is a small gnomish looking chap whose like head barely sticks above the table. And then there is a reasonably ambiguous looking dragonborn dressed in relatively neutral clothing. Sat beside you, Stix. As you sit down and place your silver piece on the table, they just turn, give you a nod. A woman comes around and in your fingers just starts pouring out, fills all six cups. And the narrator says, bangs his hands. No spitting, no vomiting. You must finish the pint. Drink. And from the sort of assembled crowd, the chant goes up, drink, 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 drink. As everyone starts to drain their cups. Can everyone make a constitution saving throw? Or everyone taking part, sorry.
You have a +4 to this because of my paladin aura, because that's exactly what the gods intended for my paladin. It's a beautiful.
So as you guys start to drink, you realise this is quite a nice first drink. This is a very fruity cider. As you drink it down, it's a little bit flat. You think maybe it was prepared the night before, perhaps, but the bubbles don't seem to be affecting you too much. It tastes quite pleasant as it goes down. Everyone makes it through the first round looking pretty good, although you notice that the slight frame on the gnome means that he's either that or the fact that he's sort of perched, standing up on his chair rather than sitting down, means it's already starting to wobble a little bit.
No.
The next round comes out again, all out of the same large jug. This one is a much darker, foamier, dark ale looking beer. Is put in front of you. The call goes out to drink again, and the chant goes up again from the crowd. Drink, 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 as everyone begins to down their cups. Almost as you're sort of like, raising yours, and there's a slam for the end. This dwarven woman has already finished hers in swift succession as you're barely starting yours. But Constitution saving throws from you both.
Constitution.
Yeah, both of you are having
Go.
a fine old time as you do so. The gnome, everyone else around the table seems fine, except the gnome who just topples off his chair, but then just sort of hoists himself up and just decides to sit on the table. Quite a rosy complexion has come over both the gnome and the farmer. You can see no change in either the dwarf or the dragonborn's countenance. The third round comes out. This one is a light summer wine. As you see it being poured, this one's coming out of several different bottles to fill up all your tankards. Another Constitution saving throw from you both.
Are we mixing drinks?
Mixing the grape and the grain.
Apparently so.
14.
Stix, you're ploughing on through just fine. Unfortunately, this mixture of cider and wine is just a bit too much for you, Arwen.
And I had rum before.
And you had rum before, and it just all starts to rise up in the back of your throat, and your stomach starts to churn, and you put down your pipe before you get all the way through it, and sort of lean forward and look across the table just as you see the gnome goes back and back and back and back and back and topples off the table, sort of crashing to the floor. Unfortunately, unable to finish your drink, you stand up and are helped away from the table as the two of you have succumbed to the effects.
Wow. Cheap drinks we have.
The next round comes out. Stix. This one is another wine, but it's noticeably stronger in taste and smell. It's poured out. Another
Come on.
Constitution saving throw from you.
Uh,
Ooh. Unfortunately,
Gonna happen eventually.
yeah, this one is a bit too much for you as well, and you and the farmer just sort of takes a sip and just puts it down and pushes it away and stands up, sort of clutching your stomach, and sort of staggers off outside of the tent. You get a decent way through yours before you realise that you're not going to be able to get to the bottom of this, and your stomach starts to churn, and you start to feel a little bit dizzy on your stool, and you try putting it back down, you kind of miss the table, and it just sort of spills all over the table as you like rock in your chair.
Can I? Oh wait. Verbal somatic. Is there any way to be able to skunk the dwarf next to me?
You can attempt it. It'll be very tricky for you in your currently inebriated state.
It's verbal and somatic, so I'm thinking like while I've got it sort of like there, I try and do the verbal sort of thing, somewhat masking my mouth, and trying to do the somatic components as well.
Hand check with disadvantage.
Sleight of hand checks with disadvantage. That's a 14.
Yeah, so the crowd is cheering. It's very rowdy. You manage to suddenly skunk the dwarf, which doesn't even seem phased. Like, she's most of the way through this pint and just slams it down on the table. And you see her eyes sort of narrow a bit, wincing. You're not sure whether that's the smell or the strength of the alcohol. And pinkness has certainly started to creep into her cheeks now.
God damn.
There's,
Dwarfs do be dwarfing.
yeah, she sways in her chair a little bit. Turns and sort of tries to stare down the dragonborn. And as she turns in your direction, you can see actually there's sort of quite a although she's got this surly countenance, there is a little bit of a glaze over her eyes now. As, more affected than perhaps it first appeared by the quantity of alcohol consumed. And, the host comes forward and says, "Well, we're down to our last two. Place your bets now if you've got any more money left." And on the last, instead of the tankers are actually cleared away, and just 2 small bottles are placed on the table. And they're uncorked, and you can tell by the immediate smell that comes out, these are incredibly strong grain spirits.
Are they green?
They are not green, you can see.
I have a question for like future situations where this might be applicable. So I have this spell protection from energy, which protects me from obviously a certain damage type.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to use this with poison, would that help me in any way with alcohol?
What does the spell say?
The spell, I believe, says for the duration, the willing creature you touch has resistance to 1 damage type of your choice: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Oh no, it actually doesn't even mention poison. Really? Acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder? Oh. I guess poison isn't really an energy. I see it's like natural energy. My bad. Never mind. Continue on. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, so you see the dwarf like reaches tentatively before the drink, pinches her nose and starts to starts to try and down it. The Dragonborn picks up theirs and sniffs it, and you can see there's just a sort of a puff of green mist as they sort of snort and sneeze at the intense strength, and they just look at the dwarf that's sort of down this spirit, and the dwarf pushes back and just sort of stands surveying the crowd, eyes sort of blinking quite a lot, you can see they're watering. They sort of look over their face and they sort of swallow quite heavily before this huge belch just rips through the tent.
Nice.
Dragonborn seems to sense the better part of Valor is to concede at this point and just places the undrunk spirit back on the table. A cheer goes through the tent, and man over and raises the dwarf's arm in the air victoriously. She sort of staggers as she's pulled her pants a little bit. A small pile of silver pieces is gathered up. You
Fair.
can carry on your way if you like.
Fair fucking play. Yep. Moving on. How drunk is this guy?
Yeah. You carry on your way. You pass a few more of these sort of tents and things. Some of them are just sort of casual drinking tents. One of them seems to be sort of attached to a butcher's. There's been a tent extended out the front, and there is a delicious smell of cooking meat. You can see there's an entire pig on a spit. It basically they've extended the stall 10-15 feet into the street and set up a little outdoor fire and things like that. This pig is it's not like a boar, but it is a small pig has been spitted over it, and there are various delicious cooking smells. Neo goes over and picks up passes over a few coins and buys a small amount of food, and mainly passes it to you, primarily Stix, and then to you, it's eat this.
Is it bread?
It's bready and meaty.
Ooh, bready, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Soak up the alcohol.
It's all in a bread canoe.
Oh, lovely.
A delicious pork sword in a bread canoe.
No.
Pork sword in a bread canoe.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds odd. That's an odd combination of words.
Yeah.
But there we go.
People eat in a wheaty blanket.
Aww.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it has the desired effect and does sew you up a little bit, but also gets one for Klari as well if you would like one. You can all enjoy a nice tasty snack in the middle of the day.
Yay!
That's the noise he makes.
Yeah, that's pretty much the noise I'm making.
So, yeah, the food and the exercises does help to soak you up a little bit, so you're not feeling too many adverse effects by the time you make it over towards the cathedral. And the cathedral itself is near the core of the city. in a part of the city called Old Town. It's a very large and impressive building. It's where's my fucking description of it? There's a large grand cathedral located in the centre of the city, made from large shaped blocks of dark grey marble. A matched pair of spires at one end tower over the surrounding buildings, and a large bell tower at the other end. As you approach, you can see that there are two paladins on the door, just standing vigil. They make no move to stop you or halt your passage as you begin to walk inside.
As I'm heading inside, because I've got a fair few uses of this thing, can I try my divine sense just to see what I can see?
Yeah. That tells you anything within 60 feet of you that's not behind total cover, doesn't it?
Yeah, not behind total cover or within 60 feet.
Yeah, you use your divine sense. No undead presence that you can detect.
And how many times can you use that hunter's sense thing?
It consumes a spell slot every time I do it.
Ah.
I can do it again.
Yeah, I think it's as many times as you've got spell slots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can do it again, but I'd prefer to do it when we're like a bit closer to. Sorry.
Well, there's a graveyard behind this cathedral, isn't there? And
Also,
we maybe think that comes under here.
my thing doesn't tell me where they are.
Ah, yes,
And it is a mile.
It's a mile, but at least
I
we
can
would.
make it smaller though, because it says up to a mile, doesn't it? I think we had that conversation before.
Yeah, because it's an interesting one. You can explain why. Fully close creatures present within 1 mile of you.
So you could just go, oh, actually, no, I'd like to do whatever smaller than a mile. I don't know, half a mile.
Yeah.
I think also doing it here, because obviously that means that we're on the right. We're still within the correct area. Obviously, if it's not here, then we know no, it's not near the cathedral, and in fact, we need to go back the other way. Obviously, we don't know how close to us it was within that mile, but we'd at least know, okay, there are undead within a mile somewhere here. Still within this area, that means that, yeah, we're on at least the right track. Potentially. Anyway. But then again, it's up to you, to your spell slot,
Yeah, what is your DM ruling about the mile thing?
I'll say you can cut it down to half a mile, but it'll require an Arcana check to precisely control that reduction in range.
But if I fail the Arcana check, it'll just do a mile?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Should we go into the cathedral just to make it nice and central?
Yeah. Oh.
So you center yourself again and extend your senses out, and trying to Whereas normally you'd sort of try and spread them as far as you can. You try and push out and then deliberately pull that focus back, which you successfully do to maintain control and make it a little bit more focused around you. And once again, you detect the presence of undead within half a mile of you.
We do. Yeah.
You do detect them.
Yeah, we are definitely on the right track there, I reckon. Is there a priest of some order nearby?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see there is. Yeah, actually, there is the robed figure from before, who was on the stage. She seemed to have returned to the temple. You can see her there. She's currently walking through the halls with holding a lantern.
Yeah, just go up to this robed figure and say, hello, good afternoon, or morning. I don't know what it is right now. Probably like early afternoon, right? Like just on 12, whatever. Good day, I'll say. Good day. My name is Stix, and Arwen, Neo, Klari. And we are here on behalf of this issue you seem to be having. Might we find a place we can speak in some sort of privacy? We have some potential update to this this issue that you seem to be having that's causing the disruptions and the curfew, which I think could be quite helpful to you. And we would like to help in this issue where we can.
Regards to all, a pleasure to meet you all. I am Aoife Longset, the guardian of the grave here. You can speak openly in this temple. There are no secrets here.
Okay. In that case, we have spoken to Captain Jork of the City Guard, and we know that you are facing undead threats in the night. Me being a paladin, my friend Neo being a paladin, and all of us just being generally good people who have a very particular skill set of dealing with undead and other threats and dangers. We, like I said, would like to offer our services. We have used my friend Arwen here has a natural connection to the land and its beings. She has detected that there may be undead creatures nearby as we speak, and we were wondering if we know there are catacombs beneath the castle. We were wondering if any of those connect beneath this building, in fact, and whether we could, if possible, take a look around.
By all means, you are free to move about the temple. Mayhaps I will take you to speak to Sabrienne. She has been heading up this investigation. The presence of undead around us is alarming and has been rising for some time now. We would not wish to put anyone in danger. The paladins of the city are attempting to deal with any threat. Their investigations are ongoing.
Sorry, did you say they were unable to deal with the threats?
Attempting to deal with the threat. Their investigations are ongoing.
Okay.
As for the catacombs, they have been explored, and no connection to this area was found when the knights headed down there.
Can I?
However, they are long and winding.
can I at this point just sort of make a couple of glances over to Clary as a sort of like a, how are you reading this woman? How are you reading what she's saying? Sort of situation. As I'm trying to sort of glean what she's maybe. Obviously, I'm trying to sort of make my own inside checks, but I'm looking at Clary and seeing what she thinks, effectively trying to use the help action to help Clary with a potential side check. Or sit with my eyes just like, Clary, what are you thinking of this person?
Didn't need help.
That's told you.
Boom.
I'm just a tool.
So, yeah, looking at her, she seems open and genuine. You don't sense any deception or anything like that. She seems honest in her beliefs and her faith.
Okay. Just checking. You never know. Never know, guys. Okay. At which point, sort of just after listening back to her again, I go, okay, where might we be able to access these catacombs? Just so that we don't doubt the paladins of the city. I'm sure they are very well respected and very powerful and very, very capable. But we have our own methods of dealing with this, and really what's the harm in just a couple of, one extra check? Might we just have a quick look?
Well, I agree with you in principle. This is not my decision to make. Again, I will take you to see Sabri, and she has more of a handle on this investigation. I would not get my hopes up with you about being granted access, however, as the only known entrances are through the castle burial chambers itself, and his lordship is very private about his personal affairs. He is unlikely to permit, forgive me, but strangers to the city and to himself to go walking about his premises unchecked.
Of course. I understand we are strangers to the city after all. Yes, if we could go speak to this Sabrian, we will get this sorted and be of whatever use we can.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you'd like to follow me. She takes you out of the cathedral grand and leads you out the back into the graveyards. And you can see various headstones and tombs as you walk amongst them. As you do so, you walk across, and there is you see now in the centre of the graveyard, there is a much smaller chapel within, and it is made of the same similar grey stone, but is much smaller, much plainer. There's no doors or anything on it. It just stands open to the elements, and you can see inside there is an altar at the far end. A very faded mosaic on the wall. Details hard to make out at a cursory glance. In front of it, there are several candles on the altar. There's just a single one lit, and kneeling before it is a figure in armour. Long blonde hair has been tied quite tightly in a bun on top of her head, as you approach, it raises her head up from prayer and stands up. And you can see she's quite tall, maybe sort of 5'11", 6 foot tall. Currently, unarmed, but still armored. Stand up and turns towards the Garden of the Graves with an acquisitive look on her face. Cebrian, these kind folks have volunteered their assistance in your investigations. They wish to explore the catacombs themselves. Yes, well, I will allow them to converse with you as you are leading this operation. I wish you the best of luck. She bows her head to all of you and takes a lantern and carries it out. Cebrian just stands there, sort of rolls her shoulders and flexes her knees. Seems potentially to have been in prayer for quite some time. What can I do? What can I do for you all? You're volunteering for this investigation. I mean, it's unusual. We don't usually have most people trying to avoid things. I mean, clearly you know something about what's going on already. I don't know how you found that out.
We were told by a Captain Jork of the City Guard.
Sure. What district was this in? Where was he from? Where were you when this happened?
It was whatever district the.
Yeah, you can sort of describe like the area of the city and how close you were to.
Yeah.
The most easterly gate. We'll have to have someone ask him a few questions about his loose lips. Well, that is another matter.
So, I don't know how much you know about what's going on outside of your city, but it is believed, well, not believed, known. It's known that a force of undead creatures has made its way into the desert, into the Boran Raz desert, and into the community of tieflings there. That is why there's a lot of tieflings fleeing the area. A lot of them are heading north towards the elven forests. Maybe some heading here.
Indeed, I'm aware of the increasing numbers within the city.
Yes, well, that's why they're coming. We're on our way to the desert itself to investigate further, and maybe see what we can do about the situation, if it's a situation we ourselves can handle. Events led us here, and upon hearing of the city's troubles with undead, we figured, well, we're pretty good at dealing with undead. I myself, a paladin, sort of my Klari and Neo. Klari and Arwen also expertly skilled in taking down creatures and people and all sorts. So yeah, we've come to offer our services. Particularly interested in this event. Offer our help where we can.
Well, if you are as talented as you seem to believe, I'm sure you will respect that. I cannot take on mercenaries unchecked.
Of course.
Do you have any affiliations or recommendations or contacts I can verify your standings with?
Of course. Yes, we are friends with the councilwoman, Lady Genevieve.
When you say this, her eyebrows raise quite alarmingly fast. You know Genevieve?
Why?
Yes. In fact, yeah, pretty good friends with Genevieve. Would you know her? Yeah.
Indeed, I do. No, Genevieve, yes, I know her quite well, in fact.
Why? How?
We grew up together for a time, and till our paths diverged, she went into politics, and I went into this.
Well, we are in very good standing with Lady Genevieve. We were staying at her abode not too long ago, resting and recovering after facing off against a dragon, and a large green dragon as well, and its army of draconic soldiers.
She also looked after my dragon, not an
She also
evil one.
looked after, yeah, not an evil one, small.
She raised an eyebrow inquisitively at this, and reaches up and sort of, Well, unless my eyes do deceive me, then that would make you Stix, Neo, Arwen, Klari, and of course, hello again, Hugo.
Wait, yeah, I think Piper saw this person in the scry, didn't he? Yes.
I think I'm
This is
crying.
this is yes, this is us. We are them. How? I'm assuming Genevieve has told you who we are. Then I'm assuming you've seen
She's told
Hugo.
me about you. I must say, I am certainly surprised to see you. She didn't know what had happened to you, and seemed to think that some of you were dead.
Yeah, death happens sometimes.
Yeah, death was on the cards. But I mean, death doesn't stop us
As
from
the
fulfilling
phrase
what needs to be fulfilled.
someone once said, I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Believe it or not,
You're gonna keep me down.
I admire
I think
your
that's-
tenacious spirit. Well, forgive me, but I'm sure you wouldn't mind just waiting a day while I verify this with Genevieve.
I understand, of course, yes. However, from what we've heard, it would seem that the matter is somewhat pressing. I think we've even seen a ghost in the night, haven't we?
Yeah.
No.
No? Do we
No.
not?
Oh no, we
You
spoke.
to Caleb, who had seen a blue light, which you guessed might mean he saw a ghost, but he was out after the curfew and trying to avoid guards, so he never actually saw the source of the light because he was trying to avoid it.
Actually, yeah, real. Recalling that, yes, he was out after the curfew. I won't mention that, but I'll just say, knowing the matter is quite pressing. In the meantime, would you perhaps allow us to? I wouldn't say look around the catacombs, because obviously that's where you're gonna speak to Genevieve for.
Can we go out after the curfew? Can we have like a pass? Just for one night, just while you're like...
Yeah, while you're confirming with Genevieve, we would just be very, very interested to see what we can see outside in the city streets.
Yeah.
For ourselves.
If that is something you are determined to do, then return here at sundown and I will assign you to accompany one of the patrols as they
How exciting.
head out. With them, you shall have no issue. No other guards will impede your passage, and you can investigate with them if this is something you desire. And
Awesome,
we'll meet
yeah.
again on the morrow.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And then once you've obviously confirmed with Genevieve, might we get access potentially to some of the catacombs? My friend Arwen here is particularly connected to the natural land and the creatures that dwell within it, and she has sensed the presence of undead creatures even within half a mile of us. Assuming they're not up and hidden within buildings and things like that, and nor hidden on top of buildings, as undead are sometimes affected by sunlight and things like that, we would assume that they would be underneath the city. I know people have said multiple times now that the underground catacombs have been checked, but we would like to. I mean, what's the harm in just another group going down?
I will speak to his lordship and see what I can do. See if I can gain you access.
That is all we.
He is understandably quite worried about the events, and I'm sure he would not object to a second or third look over things. But yes, I will allow me some time to check to send a message to Genevieve, just to dot my I's and cross my T's, as it were. And yes, if we meet me back here, well, if you return here at midnight, you may be permitted to accompany one of the patrols. And then, if you return at midday tomorrow, we can discuss further arrangements to. I will have had an opportunity to potentially speak to Lord Rickard if Genevieve responds, and then we can proceed from there. We will
Awesome.
send another foray down into the catacombs from that direction.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That'll be pretty much it.
Okay.
Cool. See you at sundown.
Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to do before sundown?
I would like to cast into Arwen's ring a level. Did you have any spells you wanted to cast into your ring?
Can I put my primeval awareness at that?
No, because that's not actually a spell. It
Okay.
just consumes a spell slot.
That's absolutely
Could
fine.
she put? I was going to ask this earlier. Could she put a spell in there, and then use that spell for primeval awareness as like a spell slot consumed?
No, because you cast the spell into the ring.
That's fair. Yeah, so it's not like you're getting an extra spell slot for the spell.
No,
You're just getting.
because you can't be just like, well, I've got five free levels of spells, so I can use them for whatever. It's a deliberate expenditure of that energy beforehand.
Yeah. Otherwise, I just cast a load of like random spells in there and get like 5 free smites a day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. Okay.
Do we have enough time for a long rest before?
You can't take a long rest now.
Oh yeah, because
I'm not going to put any spells in the ring then. At the
Okay,
moment,
yeah.
because there's no point. Because I can't get any spell slots back.
yeah. So I'll tell you what. I will put through a. Oh, what would be good? Like a cure wounds.
Mm.
I'll put in a. Yeah, I'll put in a.
Well,
I'll put in a.
I mean, if you wanna, for the sake of maximum benefit, if you want to put in a level 2 spell, Neo can put in a level 3 spell. You can both use your channel divinities to regain those spell slots.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And then you can have a short rest.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, to then get the channel divinity back, and then.
To get the channel divinity back, exactly.
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide what would Neo put in there, because I might change what I might put in there.
Well, he's got a few things. I mean, his He's got haste, protection from energy, find steed, hold person, misty step, detect magic, bane, cure wounds, bless. You guys can see the sheet. So I mean, yeah, if you guys want to essentially like decide, we'll pick things up from the meeting at sundown next session. So you guys can decide sort of during the week what spells you want to specifically stick in there. If there's anything else anyone wants to do before then, we can tackle a couple of quick things now, or we can think of what you want to do before sundown, and we'll tackle that at the beginning of next session.
Does he have healing word?
He doesn't have it.
No, I was imagining that then. What the fuck? Some fuckwits are doing. They're setting off fireworks at 10:30 at night in the fucking
In the car park.
the car park right in front of our house.
That's a disturbance of the peace.
That is a disturbance of the peace right in the middle of a goddamn thingy area. Okay.
Clearly haven't got the pounding rain that we've had for the last 2 hours.
No. Anyway, I'll do a level 2 cure wounds in there. Because why not?
Okay. Well, I'll leave you guys to figure out what you want. You and Neo can both do up to a 3rd level spell slot in there and recover that.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Yeah, level 2 cure wounds. Then I'm assuming we'll take a short rest on our back.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, if there's anything you want to do before sundown that you think of during the week, let me know. But otherwise, I will prepare for a midnight excursion around the city.
Indeed.
And
I'm very.
next week.